With training and experience, Chung used both his Phantom Shooter and Destroyer effectively. Chung eliminates all threats and leave no trace behind, and all of his enemies tremble with fear. It's time for a hunt. Welcome back, lore seekers. This is G, and for the lores video today, we're actually going to talk about Fatal Phantom, the assassin of black and white. Obviously known for his dual-wielding phantom shooters and the most obvious use of his destroyer of tracking missiles, he's bound to eliminate any enemies that he sees with ease and with silence. Without further ado, let's talk about this dark and silent path that Chung has to take in order to become the way he is right now. During his travels, Chung realized that wielding only the destroyer, his one weapon, renders him weak in battle. He took the time to study a new way to utilize the Proctectors stone in his possession. He took on this task and finally succeeded to generate another weapon from the stone. Named the Silver Shooter, it is a weapon that allows him to deal damage from a distance. The magic bullet of the Silver Shooter has the ability to pierce any target. With this new weapon, Chung is now able to complement any weakness of the destroyer to beat the enemies. You have no chance. In this lore tab for Shooting Guardian, this actually comes to realization for Chung. Been using the destroyer for quite some time ever since he was young. He actually came to the realization that his destroyer, although powerful, but most of the time is actually slow to swing despite the description saying that the cannon is feathers light for him. By swinging the cannon, this obviously leaves him vulnerable for any other incoming attacks until he actually swings that cannon back at them, just defend himself. And this is actually when Chung decided to use a pistol, in this case it's called the Silver Shooter, will be the weapon that he will start be using in order to cover up his weaknesses when he actually decided to use the destroyer. The Silver Shooter themselves is actually stored in his Guardian Stone, and if he wants to summon them, all he has to do is point his fingers at his opponent and then the gun will actually materialize in his hand. And for the bullets, however, these actually bullets are immune with magic, despite the design of the gun itself actually has a cylinder magazine where all the bullets would be stored in. And now we can actually move on to his second class, which is going to be Deadly Chaser. Having the strengths of the destroyer and the Silver Shooter combined, Chung now wields two Silver Shooters. The powerful bullets launched from the pair of Silver Shooters overwhelm their enemies and diminish their morale even before they sense Chung's presence. Equipped with a handler yet more powerful set of weapons, he is nimbler and even more dangerous at a distance. His new set of skills and stealth has earned him the reputation of a sly assassin and the name Deadly Chaser. Try to keep up. There is another lore tab regarding what happens to Chung Guardian and the resolve he actually has to take to become stronger like anyone else of his friends in the party. In the comic, Chung actually has a mindset that himself has to protect Hamel all by himself, and frequently he often gets in sticky situations that he actually has to do everything himself. But when they actually arrive in Hamel, that all changed when Elsword explained that they're actually doing this together and not by all yourself. And Helmut also mentions that the mind of the Guardian cannot be over ambitious, we simply desire to protect our loved ones. And those two alone actually change the way Chung thinks about how to be a Guardian and actually find his own way to protect his friends and those around him. Hence why Chung actually decided to embark on a journey in order to find a way to get stronger to protect his friends. And now we can actually finally arrive to his last class. In this case it's going to be Fatal Phantom, a marksman who barrages of magic bullets take down enemies in a swift but efficient manner. Chung's experience has made him a more skilled in using his Silver Shooters constantly and effectively, upgrading his Silver Shooters to accommodate his needs to allow him to able to shoot more bullets faster. The power of L together with the knowledge he gained from his travels allowed Chung to develop Phantom Shooters, guns with double barrels. His training experience has prepared both his mind and his body, enabling him to handle this volatile weapon. I won't hesitate to shoot them down. Chung is now capable of infiltrating enemy headquarters alone and constantly shooting down everyone inside. He leaves no traces behind and instills fears among his enemies, benefiting the name Fatal Phantom. And we finally arrived to the class that actually specializes in assassination. Instead of one barrel in his gun like his Silver Shooters, and this time around for his Phantom Shooters, it actually comes with double barrels, and technicality, you can actually shoot two bullets at once, but in gameplay wise, it doesn't really affect that much. As in for his overall concept, he's supposed to be a so-called silent emotions assassin. His voice is actually changed to be more soft and menacing, while his black plate armor represents the dark and menacing appearance that he is right now with this class, and his entire skill concept of actually assassinating his targets and leaving nothing behind. And all this actually is reinforced with his mod skills that allows him to automatically lock onto enemies, and some other mod skills allow them to trap his enemies in order to deliver the final blow. So that actually concludes the lore video for Fatal Phantom, and to be honest though, this class alone doesn't really have that much lore or any complexity behind it, hence why this video is very short as compared to other classes. But I tried my best to give Fatal Phantom a chance in terms of giving him a lore story like any other classes is, and if you actually have any requests for me to do a lore video for any other classes, and if it's more complex the better, but if you really want that particular class, you can also throw it down in the comments down below and say which class you want me to cover, and hopefully by either on Friday or the next weekend, that video will actually show up for you guys for you to listen. This is Fierce Energy, and I hope you have a nice day.